her chance. Welcome, everybody, to episode 3 of the Final Cut podcast. I'm joined here once again by Jacob
Hello.
and Miller. Yep.
Yes, I
Yep.
am the Charlotte of this podcast, correct? That is who I am.
Yep.
Wet.
This
Very
week's
nuanced Sex in
episode.
the City and Naked Gun reference there for everyone.
Oh, yeah. Um, Today's weekly episode, we will be discussing the Together by Michael Franks, I think is his name. And also our favorite movie of the year and the worst movie of the year so far because we like to have fun. Um, okay, would everybody like to go around and say their weekly watches? Jacob?
Yeah, I think I'll go first. Um, After the pod last episode, I watched M. Night Shyamalan's The Village, which is kind of groundbreaking in terms of performances from that cast. And then on the 1st of August, I watched Weird Millers. And then on the first, I watched decided to finally pick up my Stan Brockage box set and
Oh yeah.
watch the Deceased film. And then second, I kind of watched like the coolest thing ever. It's called Cool World. It's a little project that Brad Pitt did back in '92. Kind of like the coolest fucking thing ever. And alongside that, I watched Coonskin 75. Also an interesting flick about racial injustices. And then on the third, I watched Star Trek II, The Wrath of Khan, live with William Shatner. The movie was
Oh,
not good at all, but William Shatner is like kind of cool, I guess. That was mainly more for my stepdad because he is a big Star Trek nerd.
wait, so
And
you
then on the
okay.
fourth, I watched The Image Book, which is it's Best Goddard, and it's beautiful. And on the fourth, I hit the bucket and I watched Sunset Boulevard on the big silver screen, 35 millimeter scan. I don't even know what to say about that experience. I'm still kind of like in awe that I went to see that movie in theaters, and it's kind of like the most beautiful thing ever. And then I watched Grimm on the fifth. It's a little short by Takashi Ito. It's very cool, very dreadful. And then I kind of like wanted to watch just random shorts that night because I was just really bored of on the fifth. And so I went to watch I-94 by James Benning. And then I also watched One Way Boogie Woogie. And then I did another double feature with One Way Boogie Woogie with 27 years later.
Damn.
And then that same day on the 5th, I watched the Glamorous Life Zakachi Hanai with a Discord group I'm in. That's kind of such a weird movie, but it's a kind of a critiquing the Bush administration in such a way of like hyper like sexuality. It's really cool. And then on the 6th, I did a binge of Dog Star Man, and I think that's kind of like the greatest piece of art of all time. And the evening of the 6th, I watched Superman again
Hell
for
yeah.
the last time before it leaves the big screen. And then on the 7th, it was like 1 a.m. I watched Together, and then after my viewing of Together, I went home and watched Woodwalk House and Intercourse, short from Stan Barkridge, and that's pretty dope. So that was my week.
Good week, Jacob. Um, All right, I'll go next
Indeed.
because it's not that entertaining. On the 30th, after the pod, I watched Towards a Dream in the USA, which is a Louis Vuitton commercial that Terrence Malick did. On the 31st, I watched Together, which we will be discussing later. And then after that, I had a get together with friends, and we did a insane double feature of Climax by Gaspar Noé and The Boy and the Heron straight after. Both of some of my favorite films of all time. Uh, Comfort movies except for Climax. And then after that, I watched The Naked Gun, from the files of Police Squad because the new one came out and I really want to see it. But really funny, kind of, not what I was expecting. But and then after that, I watched Song to Song again from Terrence Malick. Uh, Bumped it up to 5. Incredible film. And then I went on a South Park tangent where I watched South Park Bigger, Longer, Uncut. Incredible musical. And then I watched South Park Post COVID, South Park Post COVID, The Return of COVID. And then I watched this short film called Color Noises, pretty cool. Then I watched the new War of the Worlds, starring Ice Cube, um, which I'll get into later. Which I'll get into later. And then last night I rewatched Barbarian, and
Oh, you will.
I rewatched Barbarian, um, because Weapons is coming out, and great film. And then earlier today in my science class, we watched the Lorax from 1972. Really pretty, good songs, really funny. I liked it. Um, and that's what I watched this week.
All right.
All right, Miller.
Nice. Well, I guess that leaves me. Um, so on the 30th, I saw One False Move, the film by Carl Franklin. I had to watch it because a friend recommended it to me, and I was running short on the window that I had to watch it. It is a pretty good crime movie. It's all right. It's pretty good. I enjoyed it a good amount. Then I saw The Naked Gun on the first, the new Naked Gun, The Naked Gun. No from the pile of Police Squad on it. A movie which I so badly wanted to talk about, but I will just put in my two
Yeah,
cents right now, going.
we're sorry.
It's funny, and it is exactly the spirit of the film that we should talk about. Huh? What was that, Hayden?
Oh, I said we are sorry that we did not see it this week. Um,
No, no, no. It's good. It's a fun movie. We don't, honestly, I don't know what else there is to say about a comedy other than it is just fun. Like, it is really fun and entertaining, and I'm glad I could see it in the theater because that is kind of a fun. Comedies are really fun to see with other people. Watching them alone is kind of depressing and a little bit maddening if the people walk in on you and you're just going, no, that's not as fun. Amelie, then I saw on the 5th, Amelie, 2001. Again, really kind of a good film, a very solid film. I found it interesting, doing a couple of interesting things while also kind of delivering on exactly what I thought it was. Um, on the 6th, I saw Together, which we will talk about later. Um, and then right after that, on the same day, I decided to stay around the theater, grab a quick dinner, came back, watched Superman as a palate cleanser for the 5th time.
See,
Have
we
I
did
seen that
it.
movie too much? Yes, but did I really want to see it in a theater again?
We did it in a reverse
Absolutely.
way.
We did it and they reversed each other. That's right. But it is kind of like a great theatrical experience for me, and I just needed to have it one more time, just pound like straight into my system.
oh yeah.
And it's just great. I adored that experience again. And then there's just this morning, I saw The Isle of Dogs by Wes Anderson. I had to watch it for another friend who recommended it. We're doing a movie swap. He told me to watch that movie, but I was also really willing to. So I'm working through Wes's stuff, and I've almost seen all of his features at this point. So I think Sterling is the only one I haven't seen
Wow.
yet. So I'm almost done, which is sad but also exciting,
Darling's
because then I'll be
great.
caught up.
All right.
That you're like the only person I've ever heard say that it's great.
All right. Well, we have some news that is very important. The first news is that Paramount and Skydance, the merge officially went through the acquisition, and it is now called Paramount a Skydance Corporation, which is a incredible name, but yeah. Um
Yeah,
The next one, which I think excited for,
Yeah.
is Paramount acquired James Mangold's new film with Timothy Chalamet called High Side. Um, what do you guys think? Are we all excited here for another?
mangled, 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 mangled.
Are we excited for another Timothy
For another
Chalamet?
mangled? Absolutely not.
For another
I'm
Timothy
excited for
Chalamet.
another Timothy Chalamet. Mangold, yeah,
He knows how
Mangold
to
himself,
direct them.
I don't ever really like get overly hyped about his projects individually. Yeah, he does, and that's the thing. But he himself is not really the draw for projects to me, if
No,
that makes sense.
he's kind of like
I become
sauceless, honestly. But like
No,
I don't
he's
know if he's
not.
sauceless. That's not what I'd say, but he's safe hands.
his actors
He's
are
He did
really
like
not.
Logan.
make
I've
his
seen films of
movies.
his that
Logan's
I
a good
really enjoy.
movie. He did Logan.
Yeah,
Logan's really good.
he did like only.
A Complete
I
Unknown's
am
good.
partial to, I
Complete
enjoy
Unknown's good.
Ford vs Ferrari.
I'm
Ford
complete.
vs Ferrari I
Complete
enjoy. A
unknown
Complete Unknown I
is
really enjoy.
okay. That's fine.
Um,
You've seen that like
I
four
think he's
times.
a very good director. He's just very solid hands. And
That's
that's the
just
thing.
fine.
Yeah, he can, I don't know. He can deliver on things very well, but they're not like Mangold productions strictly, if you know what I mean. I struggle to find
Yeah.
like a direct or very overt through line between all
Yeah.
his projects, though that you can probably find one if you like try to. He's like a very traditional Hollywood director, and from that,
Yeah.
like I don't get excited about his projects individually, but sometimes since I hear about them and I heard about a Tim movie,
Yeah.
that thing to me is good.
I
If
feel like
I
I'm
read
more
this, if I
ex
see the play and it's interesting, that's
yeah.
interesting
I
to
feel
me.
like I'm more excited with the stars with him and because like
Yeah.
again, I just feel like the stars make his movies.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair.
He doesn't scare me, if that's I should
Yeah,
be clear. Like he
I
at all like nothing. Seeing his name attached is good. I feel very comfortable with that. I'm happy it's him.
It's safe.
But
That's a good
yes,
word.
yeah, I mean,
very, very secure.
I if I hear new James Mango movies coming out, I'm gonna go see it. He's not Sean Levy bad or John Watts, you know. So
No, he's the
uh
best of the journeyman, I think, in
yeah.
my
yeah.
opinion. He's the best working journeyman now.
All
If I
right.
see his name on a project, I'm like, okay, that's something.
Yeah. Our next piece of news is something that I am very excited for, is that the Batman Part 2 is shooting next spring, which is super exciting because
Hell
this
yeah.
movie has been in kind of pre-production script writing hell, which I think is good because they're taking their
Well,
time with
didn't
it.
pre-production just start?
Yeah, well, like with Matt Reeves and the other dude who've been writing the script, which still this movie will be incredible. I have no doubts about it. Um the first one is one of the greatest comic book movies of all time, and so
Yes,
super
sir.
excited. And then our last piece of news is that James Gunn is
Yeah,
to
I'm
write
hyped.
and
We'll probably get the film in like 27.
yeah. And then our next piece of news is that James Gunn is to write and direct the next installment of the Super Family. Anybody have any thoughts about this?
Whew.
Cool. I'm excited to see what that is. I
Good
think it
pull.
came from a press release by like Zaslav, so I don't know what that means, but I look forward to finding out.
Yep. I have no idea what it's probably just gonna be Superman and Supergirl and somebody else. So, very cool.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Okay.
be fine with.
All right. Our now our our half thing that we're covering today is the new Michael Shanks starring Alison Brie and Dave Franco film Together, which you know, I liked. I don't know. I know Jacob didn't like it. But I liked
It
it.
was ass.
Wasn't that bad. Come on.
That was it was kind of like the
How about
most
you, Hayden? How about
Yeah.
you explain why you liked it, and then we'll go to Jacob to cut it down, and then I'll
Well,
mediate since I'm kind of in the middle.
okay. Well, I liked it because it was very entertaining. Kept my eyes on the screen the whole entire time. I know people have a problem with Dave Franco's performance, but I kind of liked it. I kind of found it very silly and very stupid, which was cool. what else? I don't know. I just think that it's just kind of a fun film that, comparing to other films that are trying to be like it or films that inspired it, you obviously can't because, but I just found it very fun, you know, as a horror movie and as a film in general is very serviceable. And yeah, I'm trying to think of what else, but I think the my problems with it are like the lore behind them coming together is kind of stupid. And I think some of the stuff that they do in the film is uh very stupid as well, but it's also very funny. I found some of the, you know, jokes, funny as well that weren't intentional or were. But that's my thoughts. I know Jacob hated it and I want to hear what he has to say about it.
Yeah. It's kind of like it's just like the most predictable and like poorly written script ever. It's just like it kind of just sidetracked everything as well. That was sort of like interesting and like the stuff with the bells and shit. I'm just kind of like I kind of wanted more lore into that stuff and like I just feel like they kind of like half-ass it. I'm not gonna lie.
Hmm.
And the visual effects at the end are terrible. They're kind of like god awful.
They
Like
weren't that bad. Come on. Let's,
dude,
I th
it was so
Are you talking about
fake.
the
The
primary scene at the end?
Yeah,
Like
with
the
the
big
like
ending.
the
Yeah,
the
okay.
mhm.
I
the
know
queer inspired scene. That
what you're talking about, yeah.
Yeah.
I could see that. I kind of agree. Yeah, were you
um
the one that
I
wrote
get
that, Hayden? Were you like that was better? Who was that?
yeah, I was like, they were very similar and I'm like, I did think
Yeah,
that, kind of took but
I agreed.
yeah, also this film is in hot water because of plagiarism, which um yeah, I don't know if we want to
Have there been any
really
updates on that?
not that I know of, but um you know, I don't like plagiarism, so if it is true, then I'll maybe bump down the rating. Because, when I saw it with my mom at night, um, and that made it a lot better. And I don't know, just I thought that
better.
it was just very good, very average for a for that type of horror movie, trying to be a body horror but not fully going into it. Um, but there's some scenes
Mhm.
that stuck out to me. The scene in the bathroom, particularly, was pretty funny, and yeah, I liked
Mhm.
it. Miller, what's your thoughts on it? You're kind of the
Yeah,
middleman here.
yeah. Yeah, I was gonna say I feel there are moments in this movie that I think are really, really compelling and entertaining. There's one segment in a hallway that I found was like kind of the most
Oh yeah,
interesting set piece of the movie. Um, there was another one that I thought the bathroom one you said I also thought was kind of quite interesting and kind of brilliant in its own way.
yeah.
Um, and the thing and then the other I'm trying to think there were a couple moments like those where I was like these are really good scenes that I really enjoy where it kind of lost me a lot. One I think some of was on a performance level and I actually don't I never had an issue with James or no not yet Dave. It's Dave.
Dave.
Dave, my
Dave
boy.
Franco. I never had an issue with Dave. Dave I actually quite enjoyed throughout the movie and I thought he was kind of incredible, and
Yeah, I
he kind of
agree.
sold me on him as an actor in a surprising way. Allison to me was where I like had the most internal like issue. And that might just be more me than her. I don't think it's her. I think she's doing okay. Actually, a pretty decent job at her character. I think I just have so much baggage with Annie from Community because it's one of my favorite shows
Hell yeah,
that kind
yeah,
of seeing
that
her
yeah.
even try to do
Oh yeah.
anything else yeah, to me it's just kind of like something was rubbing up in my like subconscious, and maybe also because her character isn't really given the most to do throughout the first two acts. I really just could never get into her character in a way that would have helped try to alleviate some of that. So for me, her character was kind of the weakest point of the movie to me,
Hmm.
because they tried to treat her as like an equal element, like the ending of the movie, but I really didn't think she was throughout the rest of the movie. At least not to me. I wasn't
No,
connecting with her on an
it
equal way
was a
that I
Dave
was
Franco
Dave.
show.
I guess his character's name's Tim.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah,
Dave
and then
Franco.
like so and then what Jacob's saying, like a lot of the connective tissue is just not like the plotting is a bit it becomes a bit messy and they start expositing in like ways that I find kind of annoying in movies like this. And it does get then kind of the way it connects these set pieces and these like some scares are like it just doesn't
They're
work
so
so well for me.
cheap. They're
They
so
also try to like
cheap.
ham
Yeah,
fist
they
like a
do
trauma
suck.
thing in there too, that then
Yeah,
they never really address again.
It's
And it feels very like post-hereditary thing where they're like, and now there's some trauma element, but the whole
fuck
scare thing isn't
Hereditary.
centered on the trauma. So like I I don't know. I do like a lot of the movies that do that kind of a thing where they like center a haunting or horror around like an internal conflict. But since this movie doesn't really it already has it's like what the scare is based on. It's about like relationships. It's kind of shoving on this other trauma onto like Tim and the character that Dave Franco plays to then also have that running tangentially. It just didn't feel necessary to me and kind of distracting. Also, it meant for a good it made for a good jump scare when they first executed on it in one
yeah,
way,
that
but
was
after that,
interesting.
it kind of just became like unnecessary seasoning that almost like takes too much away. It's like throwing garlic on like, something that's kind of sweet and savory. You're like, what the like it's not bad that like I don't hate garlic, but like why'd you throw this in here? It doesn't make sense for the dish. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah, I mean,
Um anyway, that's kind of where I came out on it.
yeah, I mean, I think I have a. It's not a perfect film. It is far from, obviously, but I just think that I really like Dave Franco. I really like some of the scenes in it. The hallway scene, as you said, and then the scene where they kind of get together with the saw. That was pretty. I would say they did more with that, more, more horror.
Bro, it's like they jump cut. It's like they jumped out of
Yeah,
that
yeah,
scene
that
though.
that is a problem.
That was
I really like the idea, and but what's it called? But yeah, I think the lore with being together was kind of they didn't need to show it. I think they should have just left it up to interpretation and left it a mystery to make it more interesting and revealing, what they revealed at the end. With the who was like kind of the true person behind it. It's like, yeah, you could see this from a mile away. You're telling me the only person she
Yeah.
talks to in the whole entire, school and all that spoilers. But um yeah, I don't know. I just kind of liked it. It's probably gonna get worse on rewatch. So, you know, we'll see where we get there. But I don't think it's the worst film of the year or even the worst
no.
horror film of
No.
the year, um, for that matter. But
Uh,
Yeah, we all know what that is.
the monkey.
Oh, that's not mine. I actually think the monkey's better than this.
Wow.
all
But
right,
I also
I'm
would say the
interested
monkey's not
now.
a horror film in the way this is a horror film.
The monkeys
But
is a Madeline
it's
book.
like more of a I don't know. I find the monkeys more fun. But we don't have to talk about it.
All right, is that all we have to say? I feel like we've said everything
Yeah.
about this
Yeah.
film.
Yeah, we
Not
can
not
take a break
very. Yeah.
and then roll on.
All right, cool.
Oh,
Hey, welcome. We're back from the break. Today we are here to discuss our favorite films of the year so far and our least favorite films, or our favorite film and our least favorite, because why not?
Hmm.
Um, who would like to go first with their favorite film of the year? Well, I'll go. Um,
you
so
should go first.
yeah, so my favorite film of the year, I would 100% say is Ryan Coogler's Sinners. I mean, what what is there to say that hasn't been said about this film? It is absolutely incredible. Blew me away the first time I saw it. Vampires, music, action, basically everything that is perfect in a film. Um, I really love Jack O'Connell each time I rewatch it, who plays the vampire. And that scene everybody knows about is where, the place burns down and it's a kind of a peer into the future is probably the best scene of the year so far. And, all the musical scenes of, anything, um, all incredible. I think it might stay that way. I don't know. We're gonna have to see one battle after another, no other choice. All these films premiering later this year. An incredible film. I had trouble picking either between Sinners, Ethos, Mickey 17, or Superman, I would say. Very, I love Sinners. Incredible
Mhm.
film. And I think we all love it here as well. I don't think anybody is against it. And I got the pleasure of not seeing the post-credit scene like Jacob did, which ruined his uh interpretation of it. So
Yeah.
we're clean on that. But I love Sinners.
MCU brain rot.
Yeah, well, hopefully there won't be a sequel because this film is a perfect original concept. Also, whenever the aspect ratio changes, some of my favorite
Coogler
things.
said he doesn't want there to be a sequel. Mhm.
Well, Warner Brothers is sneaky.
Yeah.
They'll just get um James Mangold to do it. Um,
No, well,
I'm joking. Um,
we'll
yeah,
see.
whenever the aspect ratio changes in the film, any film that has that, it's awesome. But yeah,
Yeah.
Sinners
Mm.
is my favorite film of the my favorite film of the year so far. Um, hell yeah, great movie. You haven't seen it, see it, because what are you doing?
I think everyone and their moms have seen Sinners.
My parents have not, so that's not true.
The
Do you need to go next, Jacob? You said you wanted
Sure.
to go last. Okay.
Yeah, I can go last.
All right. Um, in that case, I'll go. I obviously Sinners is my top choice.
yeah,
I mean, just on a cultural level, it's probably the most important. But personally, I do have a favorite that I just stand by, and I had the most. I had a real strong connection to when and I still think about at the film I saw this year that like kind of touched me personally in a meaningful way, and that movie is Friendship.
hell yeah,
Um, the film, the
I love
film
Friendship.
starring Tim Robinson and Paul Rudd, directed by Andrew DeYoung, about adult male friendship. Um, there's yet to be a movie this year that I have seen and come out of going, oh my gosh, that is just about me, and not directly, but like emotionally coming out of it, going, this is spoken to me more intimately and more personally than Friendship. I relate to a lot of the fears and the anxieties and the stresses that Tim Robinson both goes through from the world, but also then puts himself through. um, and the kind of like the need for male companionship, the drive to find it in like people you find really cool, and then also that feeling of rejection and kind of like how you then deal with that and cope with it. And obviously the extremes to which he goes to effect, and it's meant to be a darkly comedic film, which I think it very much is. I laughed a lot seeing it. Another comedy I saw in a theater, and like I think it really benefited from the theatrical experience a lot. Um, but I mean, it really is funny and dark and really trying to say something about the condition of humanity that I find just works incredibly well. And I was really worried about Tim Robinson working with a director on a movie that he was not directly
No,
involved in
totally.
the creative element of, because he didn't write the script. And so I was kind of curious whether another person would be able to use Tim Robinson effectively, or if they would just kind of miss what makes I think you should leave work. And what I liked about this is DeYoung, I think, really understood what makes Tim Robinson such a great comedic actor and such a great performer, and was able to really use him effectively. And that's just good casting. It's not just stunt casting. It's not just the it boy casting. It wasn't just using the guy who's popular at the time just because he's there. It was really smart to use him in a role that like I think was very well suited to him. And even Paul Rudd too. I mean, this is one of the first Paul Rudd movies recently where I've been like, this guy, they knew exactly what they were using him for. Like
Yeah.
they knew exactly what he
Not
could bring to
Ant-Man.
this. That kind of charisma, that kind of like very that draw that he has to even like me, like in any role. I'm like, I mean, he does have like this inherent charisma to him that's really appealing, and they knew how to use that here. He plays Austin well. Tim plays his character well. What's his name? Craig. Is that right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Craig.
Craig.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And
Craig
Kate Mara's
Waterman.
in it, and Jake Dylan Grazer's in it. I mean, the cast is surprisingly well done too. I mean, just well
Yeah.
filled out. Um, yeah, I have no notes for this movie. I came out of it going, this is kind of just it does exactly what it's trying to do, and for me personally, it works so well. For me. So yeah, that's my
Yeah.
personal favorite film of the year.
Yeah, I love Friendship. I think the garage scene
Oh,
is another scene that is incredible. One of my favorite scenes of the year with Connor
Have you seen that they're
O'Malley.
gonna have
mhm.
Yeah,
that extended scene
I've
is
been
gonna be on
trying
the
to find
Blu-ray? They
it.
did 12 minutes of vamping.
I've been trying to find it because IndieWire released a scene from it, and I'm like, they just went off script and
Yeah.
they're breaking character. No, but I totally agree. Great choice. Friendship, incredible film. I really need to rewatch it. All right, Jacob, you are on the board.
All right. So my favorite 2025 theatrical release is The Shrouds by David Cronenberg.
Hell yeah.
Um, kind of like a really like interesting movie about love and like love kind of sucks, but like um kind of like not loving ever again or like not feeling the one that you loved and kind of like that feeling just like sucks, which is like something so like me emotionally like scarring. And David Cronenberg just kind of like portrays this in a way with technology that's kind of like just so beautiful. Uh,
Yeah, I need to get
I,
around to watching
I've
it.
I've actually not seen this film yet.
Yeah,
I
Yeah,
don't
this
think
is on
both
my
of y'all
catch-up
have seen
list.
it.
Yeah,
I need
it's
to
one of
get
the
the
It's
ones I
on
need to
Criterion
catch
stuff
up
on
on.
his
Criterion.
channel. So, no,
Yeah,
great pick.
you
I
really
love
did.
Cronenberg.
It's so
Um,
useful.
I
Yeah.
love Cosmopolis, Videodrome,
Are there any?
Amazons.
Yeah. Are there any other like honorable mentions that you guys have? Like other films that you were like really close to being your favorite film of the year and like just missed it by a little or like weren't exactly
Uh,
there, but you still want to like shout out while we're here?
Shout out Mickey 17,
Yeah,
obviously.
Mickey 17 is
Mm,
obviously
That movie
incredible.
is awesome.
28 years later, I
mm. You
particularly
both like that
love.
movie way more than I
Yeah.
do.
Obviously,
Oh, 28
Superman.
years later is kind of incredible.
Yeah, 20. I
Oh
mean,
yeah, Superman was my like that was
Yeah,
if you picked Sinners and I didn't have friendship, I would have gone for
Yeah.
yeah. I
Superman.
Shout out
mean,
Final Reckoning.
yeah. Shout out to Tom Cruise, man.
Uh,
I really loved both of the Soderbergh, Black Bag and Presents. Um,
Yeah,
also Phoenician
I
Scheme,
enjoy
Wes
those films.
Anderson. And then
Shout out Baby
Eddington.
Phoenician's Game
Invasion.
is also in my top five.
Yeah, well, Baby Invasion is
Eddington's also
not
in my top
making
five.
it anywhere near this. Um,
Wow. Baby Invasion
Mhm.
is my fifth favorite of the year.
how? Okay,
All right.
that's crazy. Okay, we're getting off track. Okay,
Weird, but okay.
now we are getting into the worst movies of the our least favorite movies of the year. The worst movie of the year.
Yeah.
Oh
Now,
boy.
I'll say this. The movies this year that have been bad are really, really bad and really fun. I'm very happy with the
Yeah.
choices. I'm between two, I would say two films right now. It's Flight Risk with Mark Wahlberg and Ice Cube's War of the Worlds, which just released. And I'll talk about that because that film is absolutely incredible. It rocks so hard. I don't know how they made this and got away with it. The editor who edited this was on a whole different level of filmmaking, or film, yeah, post-production. And
Screen
this
recording.
movie rocks. I watched it yesterday, and it's really funny because it's very stupid. Ice Cube does so many like it's shot fully on computer, by the way. I just want to point that out there. It's shot through phones, Zoom, Teams, and it's and it's just really cool. Um,
Screenagers.
yeah.
Mm.
But Ice Cube, you know, I don't know why he agreed to this. There's a scene in the movie where he helps his daughter get into a Tesla, and when we see what's outside the Tesla, it is a regular day in California, while every other the aliens in it are like causing destruction all around the world, and it's just like a cam rip from your phone of you know of it, and then you could see on the Tesla camera the camera like reflecting back. So I found that very very inspiring. Um, and it's very bad movie. And same with Flight Risk, another horrible film. But you know that one's just boring.
Are both of those like, is the War of the Worlds one particularly like, is it the kind of, you kept saying like it's fun. Is it the kind of bad where it's like genuinely just a kind of entertaining time because it's
Yeah,
terrible? Like you're
yeah. I
kind of
don't.
surprised that this thing got
Yeah,
past anyone?
I watched it because people all over, news and stuff were like, "This is the worst movie of all time,"
Yeah.
and it's obviously not. But yeah, I would say it is very entertaining because I'm walking in knowing that it is probably going to be bad, which I know that's not the mindset you should go in with when watching film. But um, I just found it very entertaining. Like I couldn't there's just so many scenes where like it was just funny. I was like this kind of rocks, like this kind of I could see myself putting this on, with friends and laughing at it, which I think is a good thing for this and you know, but it a truly bad film is Flight Risk or The Life of Chuck, the Minecraft movie. The but
The Life
those
and
are
Show.
some.
Mm, wow.
Yeah.
See,
So
Life checks on my catch-up list, so
I don't
I
think you
will
need
have,
to.
I still plan to watch it.
we'll
I
do a
don't think you
pod
should catch
episode
up on
on
that
it.
one.
All right, we can do that.
I'm joking. No. All right,
Few
Jacob.
few weeks late.
It turns out I love it. I'm just the only guy yelling about how great it is, but you guys just bash me.
Yeah, well, Jacob
Um,
influenced me.
yeah, shout out Brave New World and the Monkey.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
those are Brave New World especially is a terrible film. The Monkey I
Yeah.
enjoy.
That movie sucks.
Brave New World is actually just like slop. It's
Yeah,
really
it's
bad.
MCU
It's quite
slop.
terrible.
Yeah,
I think
it's
the
Kevin
That is the
monkey.
Feige.
definition of slop. When you
Yeah.
said slop last week, that is what that
Well,
That
should be
all
is
of it
applied
slop.
is
to.
slop, Miller. All of it.
No,
No,
chill out,
Fantastic
Marty.
Four would looked
Gosh.
like a real film. This looks like a
Well, I
film.
wouldn't
Well,
go that far. I mean, it looks like
It
no, it does look
does.
like a
The
real
black
film. I'm
hole
kidding.
scene? Come
It
on, guys.
does.
We
It
we
does.
can't
Well,
we
yeah,
can't
it does. But I
that's
do think
some
like
of it.
I don't know if that's the argument against it being slop. I feel like there's other Marvel movies I would point to
Yeah,
first.
yeah. I
Like
mean,
I would what
Thor:
would be a
Love
good
and
example that
Thunder,
I could point to and be like, this is a movie. Oh yeah, that's it.
Ant-Man: Quantumanium. Actually, Ant-Man:
Oh yeah,
Quantumanium is
those
probably
two
pretty
films
good.
prove that this isn't slop.
Um, yeah, good picks. The Monkey, I feel like is I haven't seen it because
It's
people
horrible.
didn't like
It's
it.
fun.
I didn't.
No,
I
it's
like
just
Oz. I think I like what Oz is doing because he's kind of. I think people are taking him way more
Yeah, Long
seriously than
Legs
I
is
do that
no,
he
good.
it's
takes
just
his
like
own work
Long
or his
Legs is
approach.
good. I like Long
the
Legs.
monkey is just
Oz
like
Perkins is doing some good
random
stuff.
shit happening just for the sake of
Yes,
random stuff happening. There's
Yeah,
like
why
no
not?
yes,
He's got a
plot
new movie
in
releasing,
this
Jacob.
movie
that's the
at
point.
all.
Jacob, walk in. He's got a new movie releasing later this year that looks like AI.
Dude, I'm just saying. I think if you watch The Monkey the way like as I think if you approach it as like a straight horror, I think you're gonna find it terrible
Yeah,
It's
it's a
and
like
like
no,
kind of
but
comedy.
like
tonally
even
weird.
like Final
If you approach it as a
Destination,
comedy, it is great.
but it's like even like Final Destination is like
I need to
amongst
watch
those
that.
lines. Is but like Final Destination is still like a good movie. Like this is just like this is just Perkins, bro. It's like
I don't know. I don't love The Monkey, but I like it. I find things in it that I enjoy.
All right, Miller, what is your least favorite
Anyway,
movie
that's
of
me
the
now,
year?
right? Okay.
yep.
Now, I have a least that's like actually just I think terrible, but I also have most disappointing. And this is like I'm gonna do
Yeah, I
both
saw
because I
your most
think the most
disappointing.
disappointing one I really want to have time to talk about because I haven't had time to talk about it anywhere. I've never had an outlet, and I really need to vent about it for a while. So the like worst movie I've seen that like I can objectively say I've seen all the way through because I saw Minecraft and I haven't actually finished it because I was with a friend who
What a
made the viewing
film.
experience kind of
Yeah.
inconsistent for me. But A Working Man is probably the worst film I've actually seen this year, where I was like, this movie is kind of just boring. Like I was falling asleep mid-film and to a point, and then I was like, it's not even funny to me. I kind of just found it soulless and kind of just like slop to me. Like that was action slop, and I was like, I can't even get into this. And I
Same
like
director of
some
Suicide
action
Squad.
slop. I know. And I I went in because I was like I have friends who really like The Beekeeper,
I
and
have
they were
the
like, "You've
poster
got to
around here
watch.
somewhere.
We got to go see A Working Man when it comes out." Huh?
I have the poster for Working Man around here. I got two of them.
Do you?
Yeah,
Well, I'm sorry
Working
if I'm hurting
Man,
your
Running
feelings, but
Man.
I find
I
that
haven't
movie
seen
kind
it.
of
I
just
just picked
bleh.
it up.
Um, but that movie to me, I think is like just a bad film. Which I was kind of excited for because my friends were like, Beekeeper's so great. You haven't seen it, but let's go catch Working Man. And then I saw Working Man. And I was like, guys, I can't see. I don't know if I could see Beekeeper. Like, I don't. It can't be much different than this. Like, there's no way. Anyway, and then the film that I was most disappointed in this year that like it's not terrible, and I feel like that's why I wanted to juxtapose it with something that I actually think is bad, but like Mission Impossible 8, Dead Reckoning Part 2, The Final Reckoning, whatever its title is. I was so disappointed in that movie. And I think my
Eh.
disappointment has only grown the longer I've sat with it too, because I keep the further away from my brain that the two parts of that movie that I thought were incredible and still think are incredible, like the some of the best action filmmaking I've ever seen. It like the final action sequence with the biplanes, I think is some of the best filmmaking I've ever seen. And the like submarine action sequence, I actually also find really incredible. Those two things, as they get further and further from my head, and I start thinking about the thing as just the full film, I kind of have to like I have to keep confronting the fact that there's so much filler of nonsense in that movie for as long as it is. Like it is a what is it? It's like a 3 hour film, is that right? Like how
Two
close is it?
hours
170
and 50
minutes?
Yeah.
It's
minutes.
over 2 hours.
2 hours, 50
Yeah,
minutes.
it's well over two, and it has no right being that long. It has two really cool action sequences and then a lot of just plot like triple exposition on the front end. They do the mission brief three separate times through three different characters, telling me what the plot is. And I'm like, guys, please stop. Like, you don't need to exposit to me so hard. And they keep trying to like play this off as it's like this big emotional, like,
It
gotta be
is.
invested in
It's an
Ethan Hunt.
opera.
And I'm not. And I love this series. And that's the thing that makes me so meh about this movie. I love the series and I should be really into what they're trying to do, which is a finale, and they're going to really play it up and it's going to have some of the best action you've seen, and it does, but then it takes like an hour to get to the first thing that's actually kind of
That
interesting
is true.
action-wise.
The first hour
And
sucks.
then it takes like another 45 minutes to then bridge that within the next action set piece. And I'm like, guys, do you understand what made like Ghost Protocol entertaining? Do you understand what made Fallout like one of the best action films of all time? Like, do
Uh,
you understand what you had? And then this
Yeah,
movie
that's
just
fair.
goes, uh, I don't know. We got two things, but we got to pace this out so it's a film. So let's like just plot in the front end. I don't know. We'll kill a character and make it kind of weird and uh, maybe kind of, I don't know, just feel kind of off. It was the movie that I came out of the theater being like, I'm really upset that this is not what I thought it was going to be, or not even like as good as I wanted it to be. I didn't even need it to be perfect. I just needed it to be okay because I didn't love the last one, but I thought at least thought it was like
the
decent,
Final Reckoning is
like pretty good.
great. Or no,
It's
the
pretty
Dead
good.
Reckoning is great.
It's
Yeah,
pretty
Dead
good.
Reckoning,
I
though.
definitely didn't hate that movie.
I mean, I
But
like
like that
Mission.
feels like if they combined that film with this film and just made like a little bit longer one, because and just had these two action set pieces at the end of like a longer Dead Reckoning, and then like you trim off some of that fat and trim off a lot of this fat, I think you have like a good one movie. And this movie just feels like they extended a third act to its breaking point, to the point where it just kind of like falls apart as like this plot burdened like expository uh, nonsense. And I really liked parts of it, and that's the thing that really annoys me too. Is like the biplane thing, kind of incredible, but I don't know if I'm ever gonna watch it again because I have to sit through like 2 hours to get to that, and I really don't know if I have that in me. I could just look it up, I guess, or like skip to it, but I even
So,
that feels like disingenuous. I
would
don't
you
know.
say you like MI2 better?
Am I too? I honestly, I don't know. I don't know because
It,
we did watch you and I, Jacob, where you watched MI2 recently together, and I did tell you that
John Woo.
that movie was kind of fun in a way
Yeah,
that I
it's
like
so
hadn't
good.
experienced the first time I saw it. I mean, it's not great, but like I found it really entertaining to watch with you. Um, but
I
yeah,
like.
MI8, I don't know. I will say MI2 is doing stuff throughout its runtime. Like it's trying stuff. And it does feel like a film, whereas MI8 feels like a rough draft of like a first draft that somebody like didn't have time to like pare down or kind of fix. It feels like really rough.
Yeah.
Uh,
I
but
like Ghost
that's my venting.
Protocol, Fallout, and Rogue Nation the most if we're doing Mission Impossible um, rankings. But no,
I think Dead
I
Reckoning's my favorite.
that's a good choice. I love Dead Reckoning, but I do agree with Miller on some points, not all, because I enjoyed it a lot. But let's see. Do we have any films that are coming out that we think will be our favorites? I know it's kind of impossible to know because of disappointments,
Still
but I
Fire and
think
Ash.
I know what needs to be my favorite because otherwise I'm gonna have to like reevaluate a lot about my character that I've been the last like 6 months. I need One Battle After Another to be my favorite film of the year because if not,
Fire and
I'm gonna have to
Ash.
like
It's gonna
change my
beat it, bro.
persona.
I mean, yeah,
I don't even
I
need
have
it to win anything.
I have no doubt that the film will be good. I am putting all the eggs in the basket that this film is going to be a 4.5 or better, which, ranking is,
God, I hope so.
yeah.
Although Darren Aronofsky's new picture looks pretty good too. Caught stealing.
Really.
No, it looks like
I'm off and
shit.
on with it. I saw the Red
It
Band
looks
trailer
bad.
recently, and I was kind of like,
It looks bad.
the Red Band
My
trailer
opinion.
actually looked worse than the Green Band trailer.
Yeah, I
I
agree.
was kind of like, weird. I don't need the swearing kind of is actually making this film feel a little trashy than like it was before. I was kind of like, the
But
normal trailer looked
It
fine.
looks
I mean,
fun.
I feel like
Looks
he's
fun.
like he's so different from who he was in Black Swan, which I'm gonna see in IMAX before, and
Mm.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. I'm really excited for it though.
He made The Whale
There are
last.
films that like
Uh,
yeah, The Whale was his last film. That's actually the only Aronofsky I've seen.
Really,
So,
you haven't
yeah,
seen Requiem?
no, I
God,
haven't
that
yet.
movie
No,
is just too depressing.
no.
Interesting.
I hate to break it to you. It's
Yeah,
just
he's a blind spot for me. So I'm gonna get into it eventually, but he kind of bummed me out. So I don't know if I'm like ever in a mood to like watch his stuff that often.
yeah.
I'm not like, man, I really need to watch Requiem.
I mean,
Like Highest to
obviously.
Lowest too, if that's good, that would be nice.
Oh, yes. Actually, that's probably my
That's would
most
be
anticipated.
Um,
That's gonna be incredible.
mm.
dude, Keeper, just because we talked about Oz 5 seconds ago. If Keeper's good, that'd be fun.
Shelby
Um,
Oaks.
but yeah, there's a lot of
Shelby
stuff.
Oaks looks good. Chris Stockman.
Yeah, I saw that trailer
Yes.
before. What was it? Was it before
Together.
Together?
Days
Yeah.
Yeah.
before together, yeah. Which I'm super excited for because Chris Stockman is a cool guy, and I'll support him. There's a couple other films that are premiering at
Oh yeah.
festivals because what's it called?
Sorry,
James.
baby.
Oh, what's it called? Jacob, did you see that James Binning has a new movie coming out?
I did not.
Yeah, it's called Little
Shout
Boy,
out
and it's
Benning.
premiering at a New York Film Festival, which I
Oh,
there's so much stuff premiering there.
new
Jay
Benning.
Kelly, Bomback, the Mastermind, Kelly Reichardt, but
Jay
you know,
Kelly would I'm watching with interest as like an awards contender thing, but also just as like what
yeah,
it is. I'm curious.
on
It has
my
my attention.
Oscar predictions, I have Clooney and Adam Sandler winning because I do predictions. Um,
Yeah. But also like sentimental value. Like if we're doing like actual
oh
awards
yeah, I
contender
forgot.
stuff, like
Yeah, I forgot
that's
about Sentimental
sentimental
Value.
value I'm looking forward to. Secret Agent I'm really interested in. Like there's a
Wagner
couple like
Moore, yeah.
awards films that I'm like watching. And I
Yeah,
hope I'll get to see at a festival soon 'cause I go to one, but we'll see.
yeah. I think
You think
everybody's
Ohio is gonna go? I think
You think what?
Ohio might do some
Oh,
numbers or rewards.
is that the one that just
Yeah,
came out? Yeah.
Logan Lerman.
I did not get to catch that.
are
I think it will
we
do numbers.
are we excited for Weapons?
Yes.
I'm eh, I don't know. I
Very
have no
excited.
relationship to the director because I haven't seen Barbarian, so I am curious. I've heard things. I've heard a lot of
Then
people hyping it up to
we
me.
That's
should
a
do a
good movie.
Barbarian episode
Yeah, we should have done
with
a. Oh, we could
weapons
do that next week for Weapons slash
because
Barbarian.
you haven't seen it.
Yeah, a Zach
Maybe,
Krieger
yeah, we
episode.
could.
And do your
Zach
homework.
Krieger filmography ranked. Come on, that'd
Yeah.
be cool.
Barbarian.
Well, that requires me to see more movies. Is that how many has he done? Oh, I guess not that many.
He's
It
got
would
like
just be the two.
three. He's done like three in total. This
Oh,
could be
three.
right.
Never mind. Miss
He's,
March, I could also
yeah.
watch. So
Yep, that would be a cool episode. Oh, this movie has a 2.4. I might have to watch this. Um, yeah, that is the episode, everybody. Thank you for watching us talk
Oh,
about together and our favorite films of the year so far, or and worst or least favorite films. We will see you next week, hopefully,
Mhm.
for weapons or something else akin to horror or something like that, because that'll be cool. Maybe Naked Gun. We'll give a Naked Gun episode for Miller.
Maybe a catch up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just put me in a room by myself and hit record, and we'll just.
All right. Well.
All right.